Good evening and welcome to the Denasha Harrison Show here on Intellectual Radio, 708-223-8953. Thank you for joining us for another show. Thank you for hanging with us and waiting for us. Traffic was amazing. I'll just put it that way. But I'm glad that we had an opportunity to actually get in the studio and join all of you that's joining us. So again, IntellectualRadio.com, where we feed our brain. Take the opportunity, take the time to go on to IntellectualRadio.com, press the subscribe button, or you can catch us on YouTube uh, and the Denasha Harrison Show, Denasha Harrison Podcast. So just depending on what type of mood you in, go ahead and join this show. And if it's not this show that you would like to join, there's other shows on the IntellectualRadio.com platform that you can take a look at as we speak. We have Freedom All Radio going by Fred Hampton Jr. If you joined me last time, we spoke a little bit about uh, Fred Hampton Day, talked about all the things that went on during that day. And I said the last time I was with you that I would have some information on the museum concerning Sandra Bland. So give me a couple more days to get you that information because I want to make sure that the information is accurate. I want to make sure that the addresses that I give you are addresses where you can actually go and support the Bland family. So just want to let you all know I didn't forget. So I'm just working on it. All right. So we're going to talk a little bit about that election. A little bit about the debate last night. Talk about what's going on during the weekend, to include talking about our guest. Tonight's guest is someone who's very important to many people, very important to me. So I'm glad that she had the opportunity and she actually wanted to come see what her baby boy was doing, come see what her son was doing. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you all to my mother, my friend, my counselor, a lot of things in my life.
Amen.
Someone who's known me before I've known myself, someone who's known me before anybody else has known me. I'd like to introduce to you Ophelia. Thank you for joining us on the show.
You're welcome, Dinasha. Yes, he is my baby, but he's a big baby, but he's grown now. And I thank God. I just want you to know on your show, I am proud of you and I thank God for you and all that you do for the people as well as your family and loved ones.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm glad
Hmm.
that we actually have a healthy relationship between
Yes,
mother and son. It's
yes,
unfortunate, but so many people um, either don't have their mothers with
right,
them or don't have um, powerful, positive relationships
right.
concerning their loved ones. So I'm very blessed to have you as a
Mm,
mother. I really appreciate all
thank
the
you.
attention that you give to myself and uh, my babies, your grandbabies,
Yes.
to include my knucklehead brother. So who's the oldest because I am the
Yes.
baby boy. But
Yeah.
thank you for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
So we're going to get into why you're here in this area because you're living out west, as most people who know us know.
Hmm.
You no longer live in Chicago,
All right.
but we're going to give an opportunity for you to talk about um, where you're from in Chicago and tell the people a little bit about why you're actually in town. What's going on with you being here besides seeing your loved
All
ones
right.
um, and staying up all night talking to family as if nobody had to go to work uh, this morning.
I can
Um,
do that.
of course, you can do that, but I can get it out now on the air in
Oh.
front of folks. So when your mother's in town
Hmm.
and her and shout out to brother Gary who's not actually in here in the studio, but he's here.
Yes.
Shout out to brother Gary, my stepfather,
Hmm.
because my father has since transitioned. But I'm thankful for who brother Gary is in my family's life, in your
Hmm.
life.
Yes.
The fact that you found love again,
Second time
after Greg
around.
and Fee.
Hmm.
But I'm happy that he's here. Wonderful, wonderful man of God, wonderful,
Yes.
wonderful person. So
Yes.
when I say brother Gary, it's a lot behind that.
Oh,
But
yes.
anyway, back to last night. So brother Gary and you,
Yes.
and then
My
cousin
cousin
Andrew,
Andrew.
right? And
Yes.
when I say cousin Andrew, people may think cousins in the traditional sense, but he's, I guess, kind of like my great cousin because
Mm.
you guys are around the same age, correct?
Yes.
So the three of them are in the house, and you thought that it was three kids at the slumber party hanging out. So um,
Yes.
just a lot of catching up, a lot of
Yes.
conversation. I
Yes.
tried to hang, but I
Mm-mm.
was too young to hang. I
Mm-hmm.
had to lay it down so that I
Mm-hmm.
can, you know, get up and get down the road
Right.
early this morning. But I'm glad that you had the opportunity and that you're having the opportunity to
Yes.
fellowship with the family, catch up with folks, and
Mm-hmm.
just relax. And so,
Yes.
with that, now I would like for you to talk a little bit about where you came from in Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
before Indiana, before Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit, just a little bit about
Just a little
Chicago.
tainted bit.
A wee little bit. I'm not going to say that word, but just a little bit about
All
Chicago,
right.
and let the people know why you're here in town.
All right. Well, I'm from the west side of Chicago, and I learned a lot from the west side. And I feel when you live in that environment, you're able to live anywhere in the world. So I love my West Side upcoming and upbringing because it gave strength to the foundation that I had from other cities. So, and from that, I transitioned because of you to the West Coast. So I thank God for you because you've been like a magnet for different positive events in the lives of the family members. So from there, I ended up on the West Coast and I'm enjoying it. But I'm here this week because of the YES Summit. And we have it in different cities, different states every year. It's never duplicated. It's always different because it caters to the spiritual needs of the people. And we come together once a year. We have truckers, bikers, leaders, uh, ministers, pastors, but we come together to celebrate and testimony, strengthening, encouraging, and educating each other. And we also focus on health and wealth because if you're not healthy, why be wealthy? You can't enjoy it anyway. So we focus on the wealth of the body, mind, and soul. And that comes from the truth that we believe from the true and living God. So every year, we choose a location before we close of where we will be celebrating that next year. So this year, we have the opportunity to be in the great city of Dalton. And we thank God for that because of you. Again, we're here for a wonderful event and a great time to see the move of God in the lives of the people. So that's why we're here, and we will be here in celebration of each other, encouraging, admonishing, lifting up, taking all positive out of the negative, because that is what we want to do so that we can come together, even though the chaos and everything that's going on, we will have an opportunity to celebrate in the midst of the storm and have peace of mind.
Tell us a little bit about the Yes Summit last year. Where was it held, and what were the different highlights of that summit last year?
Well, last year, let me think. Last year, hmm, where were we last year?
We were in Arizona.
Arizona.
Was it
Yes,
Arizona? In the
Arizona.
Phoenix
We
area.
were in Phoenix, Arizona, and we went to the mountaintop. And on the mountaintop, if you've ever been to Jerusalem and you go to the top of the mounts, you can look over and see the city.
You've been to Jerusalem,
Oh,
correct?
yes, I've been to Jerusalem, Turkey, Cairo, been to many places
Egypt,
outside. Yes, Egypt,
Mexico.
yes,
Okay.
the Mediterranean. I've been many places outside of this USA, but I wanted the people to have an experience of the spiritualness of being able to be on top and look over. And we found this place in South Mountain in
South Mesa.
South Mesa,
Mm.
Arizona. And we were there, and when I walked it, I was like, this is like a replica or a duplicate of when I was in Jerusalem. And so the people were there, and we always do what we call the Jericho March. And we had a marvelous time. We did the foot washing, we did the communion, we did it all at the mountaintop. So the children even enjoyed it. And we had quite naturally a guest, a road runner, that was there having a ball running in between the people. But it was truly uh, not, I don't want to say magical, but a um, what you was uplifting, purging type of thing, because we weren't considering what was going on, what was going around. We were in awe of God's creation. The mountains were behind us, and the city was in front, where you could see all of Phoenix from that mountaintop.
Yeah, I would say it was a transformative experience.
Yes,
Right.
yes, nice
So
words. Yes,
something that you will always have with you. Right.
yes,
If you think about that time last year when we were in Arizona, it was just a very transformative experience.
yes,
For me, and I've talked to others who were speaking about the summit last year. A lot of people talked about how they felt like they were a different them. They
yes,
felt like they were themselves, but it was just a
yes,
different experience of being yourself.
yes,
So I really enjoyed the location last year. Um, I don't believe that it's as from from a physical standpoint, it's
hmm,
not as mesmerizing
hmm,
to be in Dalton versus when we were in the South Mesa area.
right,
But I believe that the goals that we've achieved last year
hmm,
um, during the summit
yes.
are the same goals that we will achieve this year
Oh,
in Dalton.
yes, yes.
You spoke about um, the the calm,
Hmm.
in the midst of the storm.
Yes.
As you all know, I'm running for trustee, and we talked about Mrs. Hobson Jordan, who's running for mayor. We talked
Hmm.
about a little bit of those politics. We've brought you up to speed on those politics.
Yes.
A lot of surprising, revealing things over the past few weeks.
Yes.
But and I don't want to focus on all the drama in Dalton. I want to focus on the peace in the midst of the storm comment that you
Yes.
made.
Yes.
I believe that it's important. For example, let's talk about trying to get here before 8 o'clock.
Yes.
Um, the the actual the actions of a few
Hmm.
can affect the many.
Yes, exactly.
So, not sure what happened with the whole accident
Hmm.
between the trucks or the cars and
Right.
trucks or whatever it was, but there's a difference between there being an accident and the whole traffic actually being shut down. So the road was
Yes.
totally shut down.
Hmm.
We were f- less than 5 miles from the exit, and it took us about 40 minutes to get those
Yes.
5 miles.
Hmm.
The actions of the few in front affected tens of thousands of people,
Yes.
and I view the situation in Dalton the same way.
Hmm.
Um, they say it's 21,000, 27,000, maybe
Hmm.
29,000. So it's between, let's just say, 21 and 27,000 people in Dalton.
All right.
And out of all of those folks, everyone is affected because of the actions of a few.
Mhm.
Um, as I explained before, and as we talked about, and as I'm explaining to the people, I and a few other people have decided to get into the race for what we believe are the right reasons,
All right.
putting the people first, making sure that we focus on the needs of the people outside of all the rhetoric that you hear,
Hmm.
all the clickbait that you see.
Hmm.
When people dissect the show and dissect the programs and things of that nature, uh, a lot of people put their spin on a lot of things. I
Hmm.
think it's important for us to always showcase and talk about how the needs of the people will be met, how to take control of a situation that was pretty bad when you got there, but
Mm-hmm.
you've taught us,
Yes.
leave a place better than you found it.
That's right.
You've taught us to get involved. If you're going to complain about it, do something to fix it.
That's right.
So, the whole situation in Dalton, the calm in the middle of the storm, I feel like whatever storm a lot of people have experienced, the
Mm-hmm.
energy and the negativity that um, has been paramount
Mm-hmm.
in that village is soon to come to an end
Yes.
because of things like the Yes Summit, for
Yes.
example.
Yes.
Um, so with that, what do you what do you feel people will gain from this year's summit? Now, Dalton's a beautiful place.
Yes, it
It has beautiful
is.
parks,
Yes, it
beautiful
does.
spaces,
Yes.
and the people of Dalton are beautiful people.
Yes, they
And
are.
they're just tired of all the chaos. And I
Mm-hmm.
believe that a lot of people in Dalton did get taken advantage of
Mm-hmm.
because of their kindness.
Mm-hmm.
Not mistaking their kindness for weakness, but they did actually um, trust
Mm-hmm.
their leadership and the legislative processes. And
Right.
unfortunately, those people who were put in the position
Mm-hmm.
to um, legislate
Right.
let the people down for one reason or another. And
Right.
if that's not the case, then show me different.
Right.
Show the people different
Mm-hmm.
because that's the word on the street right now,
Right.
and that's the actual experiences that you get when you talk to the people.
Mm-hmm.
So, with all of that being said, what do you expect to achieve out of the summit this year in a place like Dalton?
I think that this is just my opinion, but I feel that when you are led by God, and we always pray and seek God for where we should go the next time. And when I first came to Dalton, I was in awe because I was like, oh, this is a nice place, nice environment, nice community. So I believe in taking the positive out of the negative, and I feel when the Yes Summit leaves that we're kind of like when you're planting a garden, you have to break that ground because you got weeds and thistles and all types of things that keep seeds from growing and keeps the tranquility. So what happens when we're here in prayer, supplication, loving, that we should leave the essence of the power of that till when it goes through to turn that soil over, where it will be workable, where things can be planted that will be nourishment to the body, mind, and soul. So all of the healing process will begin because something has to die in order for the seed to germinate and come up. So all of the things that are not as they should be will have to die. And it'll be a new day, a new dawn, a new beginning, new growth. It will be nourishment. The generations coming on will be able to be healthy, but it will be that when we leave our essence, that when we're gone, it's like a expensive, wonderful perfume. It will begin to smell good. It will begin to make you feel good. And what the happens when things begin to be turned, then you'll see the truth. You when you turn that soil, things begin to come up and you see what has been covered up and what's under it. And then we must get to the root. So by getting to the root of the new growth, it has to be cut all the way out. So purging everything and starting as an artist with a new canvas and begin to paint that picture. I feel that we're here because we have a purpose of who we are. And because of who we are, a lot of times we don't have to say anything, but in our heart, believe and know that by our actions, there should be a ripple effect. It's when you throw a rock in water in the ripple effect. I'm looking for when we leave that it be a tsunami of wonderful things clarity, truth, and understanding. Because when that breaks, it throws things up. And when they come up, they come down. So a tsunami of change to me is what we will leave behind, because every individual that's already here, that's on their way here, that's in travel, and those that are far away, we're all lifting each other up because we want to celebrate and we want to let everyone know that who we believe in, he's all powerful and almighty. So no weapon formed, it's not going to prosper. And his word will perform what it was sent to do. It's not going to return to him void. So these things that are going on are temporary, but what we're doing is eternal because it's not of the flesh, it is of the spiritual realm. The flesh must die because it came from things, but the spiritual is eternal. It's not going to die. It's going to go on and on and on. So whether it's positive or negative, it's going to be around. So when you seed into a thing or into entity, what you seed in is what you're going to get back. So if you plant beans and it's not crossbred, you're going to get a bean. If you plant a watermelon, whatever you plant is what you're going to get back. So we're coming to plant our joy, our happiness, our testimonies, our victories, our success. And if we carry that with us everywhere we go, it's like Linus. When he had that blanket, everywhere he went from Charlie Brown, stuff would just be dropping. So where we go, there's droppings of prosperity, health, success, wellness, healing. So that's what I feel that will be here as we gather and will grow and be a tsunami as we leave.
Well, that's good word, and we appreciate that explanation about the summit. Sounds like we've already had the summit here, so we really need to have the summit still?
Yes, we
Okay.
need to touch and agree.
Okay, so we need to touch and agree. So metaphorically speaking about things dying,
Yes.
we're not talking about the.
Oh, no, no, no,
Oh,
no.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yes, yes. Yes,
just
let's
clarifying,
make it clear. We must be
just checking.
clear.
No one specifically, but we understand what you're saying. Tilling that
Yes,
soil, turning that soil, pulling those
yes,
weeds up,
yes,
exposing that dirt,
yes.
seeing if it's going to be good for growth or if we need
Right,
to dig it out and throw it away and put
right.
new dirt
Put
down.
nutrients. Yes,
Totally
yes,
understand it. So you
yes.
are listening to the Denasha Harrison Show here on Intellectual Radio. We're going to take a quick music break and then we're going to come back with more from Ambassador O, Ophelia, McMath, Harrison, Robinson. Be right back.
All right. Cause on the trouble water.
You ain't got enough money to buy my soul. Ain't strong enough to stop me. I'm out of control. This the matrix. I'm Neo. I know that I know. I am that I am. That's why I speak so bold. On the verge of losing hope. I know where to go. Switch my style from singing vocals to magical flows. Study the streets a little closer. One with the ghetto. Got wise as I got older. Unloaded the metal. New millennium rebel. After that federal dollar. Balance the world on my shoulders. I know my soldiers are following. We at war. Cause kids still dying in the streets at war. On the block running from the police at war. In the US, this ain't the Middle East at war. With the problems in my own community and the swore. It's the only way to fight an enemy. Lord, save my father from this bottom of Hennessy. With more can I give? I'm giving all of me. And for real, it's only getting hotter for me. Harder to see and harder to breathe. And there's only one remedy. I gotta be smarter than my enemies. In the water. Wade in the water, children, now wade in the water.
Welcome back to the Denasha Harrison Show here on Intellectual Radio. 708-223-8953 is the number here. Please support IntellectualRadio.com by going on and subscribing to the show, the Denasha Harrison Show. Go ahead and put your comments in the comment section. Click like, donate, donate, not only to me, but also to the other shows that are on the platform. We are
Yes.
truly one family, and we do believe in feeding our minds, feeding our brains. Even if the show is not even if this show is not your type of show, Whatever that is, you'll find what you're looking for on this platform, an iHeartRadio platform, intellectualradio.com. So if you're just joining us, we were talking about the Yes Summit that's coming up.
Yes.
That's actually going to be here between tomorrow and Sunday.
Sunday.
So we
Yes.
have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday that the summit's going in Dalton, right?
Yes.
So we talked a
Yes.
little bit about um, what benefit. Um, well, actually, we discovered what benefit Dalton should be receiving from the summit
Mhm.
and what the expectations are um, from having the summit in Dalton.
Yes.
So when we talk about the Yes Summit, um, is it a part of? And of course, I know this, but for the people,
Okay.
is it a? Are we having church from Thursday to Sunday? Is it a church function? If it is a church function, who's the leader of the church? What's the name of the church? Things of that nature.
It is not a church function because I tell people you have your local church that you go to. If you want church, participate in your local church. But when we come together, we are a group of people that are coming together to encourage. We're not concerned about the denomination, we're concerned about the truth. So we come together for people like we have truckers, we have bikers, we have professional people that travel across the country and they're not able to participate or be at a local church. So we do have teaching. We teach the word, we have testimonies, we encourage, we do ordination, licensing, and we just celebrate each other. And the ending of the summit, we actually visit a church or have a church service in the location that we're in. So it's not a churching, it's not a revival or a concert or a preaching session. It is actually sharing in a comfortable environment the truth, getting answers, questions that maybe you did not want to ask or could not ask your leaders where you are because of personal reasons, embarrassment, or whatever. So we answer the questions and we answer them according to what is written in the Word of God. So we don't just say, well, I think, I guess. We have scripture to back up the answers that are given because whatever we give out, we're accountable for, not so much to man, but to the true and living God. So we have to be sure, very sure, that when we give an answer, that we can say, it is written. And when it is written, we don't change it, we don't manipulate it, and we don't use the word to uh, be a what a type of, I would want to say, controlling environment. We don't use it that way. So we use it to help people to answer the questions because everyone is not at the same level in ministry and in their personal relationship with God. So when we have the Yes Summit, we want to encourage people, don't just take what you hear, learn for yourself, develop your personal relationship with God. And then in parting, we part in worshiping and thanking and praising God in assembly together so that that would be our last memory of being together. So it's not a church service, it's not a concert, it's not just a seminary type of environment, but it is what is needed for the people. What is the soul searching? What are they really here for? Do they have questions? We tell people that are online with us every Sunday, bring your questions, ask your questions. We're here to be a support for those that are in leadership because where do they go? Everybody needs someone to be accountable to, and everybody needs someone that they can talk to, not a confession, but to share. And we learn from people as well as them learning from us. So that's the summit. It's not traditional. It's it's not a a point of, well, you have to. No, come so that you can be nourished. Where you're weak, you can be strengthened. Where you've been torn down, you can be rebuilt, and then you can be encouraged and uplifted. And when you leave, there should be a change. We look for a change, that the change begin to happen.
Transformative, just like
Yes,
Arizona last year.
yes,
So a godly family reunion.
yes,
Okay,
exactly,
okay,
exactly.
that makes sense. Okay, we probably should have talked about the debate before this.
Oh,
So, but let's talk a
uh,
little bit about Pastor Calvin. What can you tell us um, about the pastor of the church that's actually heading up the summit?
yes, he is a. Mm, well, you're the educator, but he is a Holy Ghost teacher. And I don't mean he teaches the Holy Ghost. What he teaches us is what has been given to him from the Word of God to present to the needs of the people. He is your older brother,
Mm,
and he's a dynamic young man, and he's an entrepreneur. So he's not dependent on the people's pockets to pad his pocket.
that's right.
He is a working individual that cares. He's a very caring and a very giving. And sometimes I look at, he's giving that, he's giving that, he's giving, but that is just in both of you guys. You all are givers. You give, and it's nothing wrong with that. It's just, who are you giving to?
Well, he's much nicer than me,
Yes.
so that should be said.
He,
Much, much,
he's calmer.
much nicer than
He's
me.
calmer.
Well, the people
Yeah.
think I'm calm too, so you can't.
Oh, I can't. I
No,
can't tell that.
they
Okay.
don't know that part about me. Yeah,
Oh.
so like for example, the folks that chopped up the show and said I need to be
Yes.
more, aggressive when it comes to
Yes.
politics. They don't know yet.
Oh,
They
I won't tell.
that
I'll,
they'll see.
okay, they'll
Yeah, they
see.
they think I'm the nice one.
Oh, they got it
Yeah, they
twisted.
man, listen. But
I know. So,
that's for the future.
okay,
So
they'll find out from trial and
well,
experience. Okay,
you
all
know,
right. But he is a dynamic young man. He has businesses, the Shy Cali. He has a school, Modern Academy School in California. But he's I always say, oh, he's a good guy. He is. He really is. He's not been um disrespectful in his coming up. Neither one of you all have been disrespectful to not just your parents, but any elder or in people in general. They don't have to be older people, but he is just a caring person. He loves children. So that's who he is, but he loves God foremost. He loves God first. So his loyalty is to God first, and then to the family, and then to his entrepreneurship. So he does have things in order now, and God is blessing abundantly above and beyond what he could ever think or imagine. So, in heading up the summit, that is a wonderful thing because I always ask, how do you have time to study and do this and do that? But I've learned through him, you have to take the time to make the time to make it happen. So he is phenomenal, and we call him Pastor KC. And I do enjoy calling him pastor, and you're ambassador and educator. I love that because the titles fit. They fit. You are always teaching and talking. He's always teaching. And he's always giving what God has given him, not theory or theology or what other people have told him. And he has these aha moments that he'll call and share with myself and Brother Gary. He'll call, guess what? Look in the word. So we have study all week long and at different times. And we chew it up and digest it. And I said, okay, he always seeks counsel from those that he trusts as
mhm.
being in a personal relationship with God. So he's a great guy.
Well, I think it's amazing that we, the sons,
Mm-hmm.
can continue to learn from you, the mother,
Hmm.
and that you can learn from us as well.
Yes, I
So,
do.
knowledge has no age,
No, it doesn't.
and love has no limits or gender
Mm-mm.
either. So I think that's amazing, and thank you for sharing that. So here's the challenge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we had so much stuff that we was talking about, the debate and the back and forth, and how Kamala killed it,
Yes,
right? So,
yes,
but we're in a space right now,
yes.
So, what I would like for you to do,
Mm-mm.
if you can,
Uh-oh.
and I'll try to correlate the debate last night, the good from the debate last night, with
Mm-hmm.
what's about to happen, with what's going to go on this weekend. So, with all the things that you expect from the summit
Okay.
and all the things that you saw last night, um, draw a parallel between what we watched from 8 to 10
Yes, until it
and
was
what's
over.
going to happen between Thursday and Sunday.
Oh my
Don't
goodness.
don't
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 stress.
stress. Just let it come to you, and tell me what you come up with.
Oh, help me, Holy
It's
Ghost.
okay.
Okay.
It's okay. I mean, and it don't have to be
Okay.
a long time
Okay.
for
All
you to
right.
try to pull stuff.
Yeah,
Just,
pull it.
but yeah,
Okay.
just
Just do a
try to parallel a little
comparison.
bit.
All right. Well, for one thing, when lies are out there, okay, and I spoke last Sunday on stop lying, not realizing what was going to transpire in the debate. So when lies are out there, you always have a positive and a negative. You have truth and a lie. So with that out there, with the people that are coming, they've been told lies. They've dealt with being lied on. They dealt with all of these obscenities and what have you. They're dealing with it too. So, but what happens when it comes to the point where you have to meet each other and tell the truth, which a liar is never going to tell the truth, but she had the facts. She had in ministry, sometimes we call it when we say they run it. She said, and remember when, and remember when, and remember when. And when we run the word, sometimes I say, it is written, and read the word. It is written, and read the word. And when she was running all of the negativity and all the lies that had been told, I was just having a good time laughing. I was like, yes, yes, yes. So the people that are coming to the summit that have been lied to about certain things, the truth will be there because we can show them it is written. It is written. So when it got down to the end, because the tactic of the enemy is to kill, steal, and destroy, and his intent was to poke her to the point that she would derail, but it backfired on him because she was hitting and not letting up. She was doing uppercuts, side cuts, bam, hitting. And I was like, yes, do it, say it, because there was a professionalism about how she was presenting the truth. She had the truth, she had the facts. She let him know that his own people had flipped on him and named him. And all he could come back was like what she said, the same old story over and over again, repeat, repeat, repeat. Well, that's what the devil does. He does the same thing, just in a different way, the same type of energy, just dressing it up. But in the end, the end, I just wanted, and this is perfect. I just wanted to read this nugget. Those who are skilled in combat do not become angered. Those who are skilled in winning do not become afraid. Thus, the wise win before they fight, while the ignorant fight to win. So, a Marine gave that to me years ago,
Really?
and I stuck with it.
Huh.
So, I looked at that and I said, she's already won. She doesn't have to fight, just present the evidence. So when the people come to the summit because of all the lies and chaos and everything, they don't have to fight. they've already won. You have to walk into your manifestation of what is already there waiting for you. Because the opponent had sowed, he's going to reap. So he soweth, he shall reap.
Very, very well said. I really enjoyed that analogy. Thank you for coming on to the show.
You're welcome.
Before we go,
Oh,
though, how can people get in touch with In the Beginning Ministries?
they can email Ambassador O Ministries at gmail.com. And that's AMBASSADOR at gmail.com. Or a wealthy one at yahoo.com. It's OHWEALTHY, the number one, at yahoo.com.
Well, thank you so much, Mom,
You're
for coming on
welcome.
to the show.
You're
We really
welcome.
appreciate it. We got a couple more minutes before we actually go. No, actually, we're going to wrap it up right now.
All right.
But you know what? Like I
What?
always say, if the levee don't break and the creek don't rise,
Yeah.
we'll see you next time on the Good Night
I
Show.
like that.
Thank you.